Kentucky. We've got a conference matchup and a good one. The Auburn Tigers desperate on the road, taking on the Wildcats of Kentucky. SEC standings, slightly different than you might expect. Dave Fleming, Coach Mac Brown with you here from Lexington on this beautiful night. Here's the standings we were talking about. Kentucky in pretty good position in that East behind 4-0 Florida. Meanwhile, Auburn 0-2 in the difficult West and facing an uphill climb. And hi, everybody. Once again, Dave Fleming, Mac Brown with you. And, Coach, I don't know that at the beginning of the year people would have expected this game to be as important as it is on both sides. Kentucky trying to take another step forward in their rebuild, 2-1 in conference play. Auburn was the 6th-ranked team in the country preseason. They're 0-2 in league with a tough schedule still to come.
Yeah, we all thought Auburn would be better, in Kentucky, who knows? Last year at this time, Kentucky was 5-1 and lost the remainder of the games and didn't finish up even with being bowl eligible. Auburn at 3-2, 2 losses in the league. It is critical that they play well and win tonight.
Yeah, and part of the inconsistencies for Auburn at the quarterback position. Jeremy Johnson has struggled. Sean White for the 3rd straight game is going to start here tonight.
Yeah, we all thought Jeremy Johnson was as good as anyone in the country, but he was not able to take care of the football early. Obviously a poor throw here for an interception. He fumbles this ball against LSU. So the last 2 weeks, in comes Sean White, young redshirt freshman from Florida. He's competitive. He's instinctive. He can run it and throw it. He's smart. But most importantly, Dave, he has taken care of the football. And now, tonight, he needs to create more explosive plays.
That's a big theme for the Tigers. White will get the start. Johnson may well play. We'll see how much time he gets. On the Kentucky side, Patrick Towles is their quarterback. There's no controversy for the Wildcats, but he has not been as consistent as they have needed throughout this year. For more on the Kentucky quarterback, let's welcome in Allison Williams.
Yeah, Dave, it's been up and down for quarterback Patrick Towles. You look at that Missouri game, he was sensational. 22 of 27 for 2 touchdowns. But prior to that, against Florida, 8 of 24 with 2 picks. So as he looks to be more consistent, his offensive coordinator, Shannon Dawson, will modify how he calls the game based on how comfortable and confident Towles seems. And he can judge that before the first snap. He watches them during warm-ups. He told me tonight his energy was good, the ball was coming out well, and he said with a smile, we're going to attack.
All right, Allison, good stuff, and that could be good news for Kentucky. The Wildcats are having a good year, and Towles, as Allison said, has had some big moments for this program that is on the rise in the SEC. Thursday night game, sellout crowd, students are here. The whole state talking about this game all week long, and we are underway. Auburn won the toss. They want the ball first, and the kickoff deep as Jonathan Ford will bring it out, and Ford is upended at the 20-yard line. That's where the Tigers offense will have the ball for the first time in this game, and their redshirt freshman quarterback Sean White starts tonight.
Yeah, Sean, it's critical that Sean play well because Gus Malzahn needs to trust him tonight and be able to call the plays that he feel like can win this game. They've got to run the ball and create some explosives. They want to get back to their tempo. They don't feel like they've played as quickly as they wanted to the last few weeks.
Well, the crowd noise is going to be a factor tonight. And over the years in this stadium against this Kentucky program, we have not always said that. But this is a true SEC type environment. That's Rock Thomas with some misdirection on the first play of the game. And he's tripped up after a gain of maybe 3 yards by the true freshman cornerback Chris Westry, who is emerging as a star for Kentucky.
Yes, Coach Stoops wanted bigger wide receivers and bigger defensive backs for the SEC, but Coach Malzahn, Gus opens up with a little trickery, a little misdirection to try to slow down that run defense up front for Kentucky.
Well, quickly out of the huddle, and the swing pass left side is incomplete. Intended for Kerryon Johnson when Auburn has the ball. Coach, who are your impact players?
Well, Duke Williams is gone, so Ricardo Lewis is the go-to guy for Auburn. He's big, he's fast. They got to get the ball to him deep. And to stop that running game up in the middle, number 45, Josh Forrest, wide receiver turned middle linebacker, leading tackler for Kentucky, really good football player.
3rd and 7 for Auburn. And it's loud at Commonwealth Stadium already. From the shotgun, White with time. Still looking. White throws, and he's got his man Lewis complete for a first down and out to midfield. So there's one of those big plays, and it's number 5. Finally, and all the time in the world, he got the ball to Lewis.
Well, we knew Ricardo Lewis had to be a guy tonight to step up with the loss of Duke Williams. Really good play by redshirt freshman Sean White, getting out of the pocket. Kentucky didn't have much rush, turned his shoulders, and finally opened the receiver downfield.
27-yard pass play. Rock Thomas with great speed, trying to get to the outside. That was well read by the Wildcats defense. Jason Hatcher with the tackle.
I think we'll see Kerryon Johnson and Rock Thomas some tonight, other than just Barber, because they're looking for speed, and they're looking for speed outside.
Yeah, Peyton Barber's been their workhorse tailback, but they feel like they can get those explosive plays from some of the other guys. That's a handoff straight ahead running. And a fairly short gain inside the 35 down to around the 33-yard line for Rock Thomas.
But Kentucky wanted to keep Auburn out of 3rd and short, and Auburn wanted to create a 3rd and short situation. So your 3rd down and 4, you've got the entire playbook with a quarterback that can run or throw.
Four receivers, and it's Thomas in the backfield alongside White. White again with plenty of time right on the money, and Lewis hangs on, still going down to the 10-yard line. And now a penalty flag. 2 of them are thrown at the end of the play. Chris Westry, he's going to be penalized, so it'll be a first down and more.
After the play was over, personal foul, unnecessary roughness. Defense, number 21, half the distance to the goal, automatic first down.
Right down to the end, you can see that Auburn's putting a senior on a freshman. Westry throws him down when he's out of bounds. It's just a freshman mistake because he's frustrated. Outstanding drive to quieten this crowd and open this ball game for Auburn. Gus Malzahn said we need to get off to a good start, and Dave, they're doing that.
Yeah, that's the third down conversion now in a part of the field where they have struggled. Inside the red zone, it's 1st and goal from around the 5, and they will hand the ball off. That is Barber, straight ahead running for a gain of 2. Peyton Barber, who in their last game at home against San Jose State had 5 rushing touchdowns in the game. Auburn, that quick tempo offense, right back to the line of scrimmage. Snaps the ball quickly. Barber once again. He lunged forward. I think he was stopped short, and that's how they're going to spot it down at about the half-yard line. And Gus Malzahn, you've been talking about it already, Coach. He wants that quicker tempo. The snap, 3rd and goal. Barber is in. Touchdown. Well, there's the start that Gus Malzahn and the Tigers wanted. They get the ball first. They drive 80 yards and punch it in with Peyton Barber.
Really power plays up inside, 3 in a row with your zone. Big offensive lineman coming off the ball. If you're struggling in the red zone, line up, shoot a shoe, get the back behind the big lineman, have quick tempo, and knock it in the end zone just like they did.
Well, Mark Stoops, the head coach at Kentucky, not thrilled with the way the game started. Extra point is up, and it is good. The Tigers, what a beginning, and their man at the goal line, Peyton Barber, punches it in. Auburn with an early 7-0 lead on the road. Dave Fleming, Mac Brown, Allison Williams here in Lexington, Kentucky. 7-0 Auburn, and Coach, what a start. First drive, Auburn gets into the end zone.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. They were 4 for 4 on 3rd downs. White steps up into the pocket. He sprints to his left. He finds senior Ricardo Lewis, which he knew he had to play well tonight. Then he hits Marcus Davis with linebackers blitzing up inside. He comes back to Lewis, senior on freshman Westry throws him out of bounds. A little extra effort there. It couldn't have been a better way to start the game than a 12-play drive, 4 for 4 on 3rd downs, and now Gus Malzahn really trusts Sean White in this ballgame.
That's Daniel Carlson, who will kick it deep. And the freshman Zaheem King watches it go over his head out of bounds for a touchback. Kentucky will start at the 25. Let's send it down to Allison Williams.
Kentucky defensive coordinator DJ Elliott really not happy with the pass rush he's calling up. He called out a couple of the linebackers. He said, "You're not coming hard. I'm calling your number, and you're not going hard." He also told them, "We did a good job. We shut down the run, but we got absolutely nothing out of that pass rush."
Well, and I think that was plain for all of us to see. Even as you pointed out, Mac, when they sent some extra rushers like Allison was detailing there. So now Patrick Towles and company, the junior quarterback from just up the road from Fort Thomas, Kentucky. Towles from the shotgun with Boom Williams emptying the backfield on 1st and 10 Wildcats. Towles is going to pass on the first play from scrimmage, and he gets a completion right flat. That's Dorian Baker, who is tough to bring down. He's one of their big play guys on the outside. They want Towles to get Baker the ball.
Yes, and Shannon wanted to start the game as offensive coordinator, Shannon Dawson, with something simple so Patrick Towles could be comfortable. Allison told us he was comfortable in pregame. He needs to answer on this drive.
So a gain of about 7 on that first down pass. 2nd and 3 for Kentucky. Boom Williams, number 18, who did not play in their last game. He was basically benched for a week. He's a big play guy on the run game, and he gets his first carry for a 4-yard gain and a first down. And Boom Williams is one of your impact players.
Yes, when your name's Boom, that means you're fast because you can get through the hole fast. Boom runs 10 400 meters. He can fly. Will Muschamp saw him last year as the head coach at Florida. He knows he's a good player, and he's got to use number 24, Blake Countess, who's a transfer from Michigan, who's the best player on the Auburn defense.
A transfer from that Michigan program as a graduate who really, Muschamp told us, he's their best player on this side of the ball right now. Towles on the move, taking a deep shot, incomplete. Pretty good coverage intended for Garrett Johnson. It'll be 2nd and 10.
Well, they went to their best 2 receivers to start with, because when you start looking at Juice Garrett Johnson and you start looking at Baker, those are the 2 guys that Kentucky's going to have to get to win some one-on-one situations deep tonight.
So 2nd and 10 Wildcats, down 7-0, still very early in front of this sold-out crowd at Commonwealth Stadium. A pitch play. Williams breaks a tackle. Williams out into the open field. There's the speed from Boom to the 10, pushed out of bounds right around the 5-yard line. Jonathan Ford saved the touchdown, but what a run from Boom.
Well, and this is what Will Muschamp's been talking about. You sit up there and you're in a perfect position, and Casanova McKenzie can make the tackle for a loss. He misses the tackle, and all of a sudden he goes 60 yards. Boom. Down 60 yards, nearing the goal line. Now Kentucky's got a chance to score.
So it's 1st and goal Wildcats as they try to answer Auburn's opening drive touchdown. Handoff straight ahead. Well, you could say Boom is for speed. Boom might mean some power, too. And he's got a little power trying to push his way. Stopped a yard short of the goal line.
Boom can do it all. But Kentucky, unlike Auburn's, 100% in the red zone with 12 touchdowns, Dave. So when they've gotten to this point, they have put the ball in the end zone.
Yeah, huge difference between these 2 teams. Auburn converted on their first trip, but 27 straight trips inside the red zone, going back to midway through right about this time last season. That's at least something. Field goal or touchdown when they get into this part of the field. 2nd and goal. They give it to Williams again. And he's in. Touchdown. What an answer from the Wildcats.
Yes, to beat a good football team, you've got to be able to answer and turn the momentum back. And Kentucky, with some question marks on their offense, took the ball and scored very easily against the Auburn defense.
Yep.
The things Will Muschamp were concerned about, one-on-one blocking, beating your guy, tackling in space, all came to fruition. He couldn't give up the big plays. Gave up the big play there.
McGinnis with the extra point up and good. They're happy to have Stanley Williams back, and Kentucky and Auburn tied at 7. It was a heck of a scene before the game here today in Lexington. Lexington. People coming from all over this state for a Thursday night game. They have not had a home Thursday night game in a long time in an SEC game, with their Wildcats 2-1 in conference play, dreaming big about taking a step forward this year, taking on the Auburn Tigers, desperate for a win, 0-2 in conference play, and it's 7-7 after the answer from the Wildcats offense.
Only been 76 years since they've had a Thursday night game. I wasn't even here for that one before you say it.
Little pent-up aggression, I think, for these folks.
Yes.
Kickoff is a short one, and it'll be return past the 20 to the 30 and across the 35 outside the 40 by Kerryon Johnson. Now the Auburn offense back on the field. Sean White, who's had all kinds of time, going deep for Lewis, and what a catch. Ricardo Lewis having a big first quarter. 41 yards.
The Auburn coaches told us that Ricardo Lewis had to step up and be the go-to guy. 41 yards. Another explosive play early in this ball game. Things are working offensively exactly like Auburn drew them up.
Down to about the 18 of Kentucky. White, and the running back wasn't where he was supposed to be. So White tries to make something out of nothing, gets pulled down from behind. Auburn wanted a penalty flag as Josh Forrest grabbed a part of his shoulder pad. So that was a blown play, nearly a disaster. White did well to at least salvage something from it.
Well, and you're talking about redshirt freshman quarterback and true freshman running back, and obviously one of them went the wrong way, and it's got him in a second long situation here. Cost him a play.
Now right back around the original line of scrimmage. They will hand it off. Barber trying to get around the edge, and a nice cut upfield inside the 15. He dove to about the 14-yard line. Didn't look like there was a whole lot there. Marcus McWilson, though, makes the tackle.
Yes, Barber's the older guy. He's the power guy. He runs the power sweep into the boundary, and you've got it back to manageable now at 3rd down and 5. Auburn substitutes. Kentucky can substitute.
Now, they were 4 for 4 on their first drive on 3rd downs. Trying to convert another one here. 3rd and 6 inside the 15. White. Pressure picked up again. The throw right on the money for a first down along the sideline. Ricardo Lewis is a huge part of the game plan and already has been a major factor for Auburn.
Well, you look at the blitz. And they're bringing again the double linebacker blitz up inside. Kentucky does a tremendous job picking it up. And once again, the combination of Sean White to Ricardo Lewis. Very good timing. Throws the ball on the outside against the freshman cornerback for a first down.
Already 4 catches, 97 yards. We're halfway through the first quarter for Ricardo Lewis. He's on his way to a huge game. 1st and goal for Auburn. Wild start to this game. Barber pushing his way to about the 5. Stop there. Well, Mac was talking about it right away in this game. Auburn preaching big plays, explosive plays. 13 of them all year coming into tonight and already in this game. They had the fewest explosive plays. A Gus Malzahn offense, fewest of any team in the country. Tonight they've got 3 of them.
Yeah, and give them credit for their 10 days or 2 weeks off. They obviously have come up with a way to get the ball deep.
Kentucky's been a good defensive team. Sean White fakes a handoff, looking toward the end zone. He'll throw, tipped up, incomplete. That was a dangerous pass. A.J. Stamps, the safety, got a hand on it.
Well, and A.J.'s a guy that's been around a long time. He had 4 interceptions last year. He had 1 this year that was called back. Nearly gets his hands on that one enough to get it. But he is a guy that they love in the secondary that has been a real stable for them that with a lot of younger kids around him. Big 3rd down and goal again.
Well, Sean White, the quarterback, is not in this formation. They're going to use Kerryon Johnson as the Wildcat quarterback here. Johnson will fake, run right, cuts it upfield, untouched. Touchdown. The true freshman to the end zone, and Auburn back in front 13-7.
Well, they told us that they would use the Wildcat any place on the field, but especially in short yardage. And they also said that Braden Smith, that young sophomore right guard, is one of the best pull guys in the country. Unbalanced line. They pulled the two guys out to the right, and it's a walk-in on the power sweep for Kieran Johnson.
That was an unfair fight. The right guard, Braden Smith, as you pointed out, against Marcus McWilson, the safety, who got shoved out of our view. Extra point up and good. The Auburn offense coming to life here tonight in Lexington from the Wildcat. That explosive freshman, Kieran Johnson, as the Tigers back up 14-7. Wild first quarter in Lexington. Auburn with a 14-7 lead over Kentucky. It has been a wild week in the SEC. Leonard Fournette, he's been the star. Over 1,000 yards rushing in just 5 games. That's the good news. Nick Chubb, Georgia's star running back, out for the year with a torn ligament in his knee. Will Greer, huge reason why the Gators are undefeated in the top 10, suspended for the rest of the year. And the biggest news of all, the head ball coach, Steve Spurrier, has resigned at South Carolina, effective immediately. We always got something to talk about in the SEC. This was even something a little different than that, as Auburn kicks off and another touchback, and Allison Williams down on the sideline. Allison, Coach Spurrier on Gus Malzahn's mind here tonight, huh?
Yes, fans may have noticed that Gus Malzahn is not wearing his customary visor on the sidelines, and that's out of respect for Steve Spurrier, who was kind of the original visor-wearing coach. Instead, the hat that Malzahn would have worn, he has autographed, and it will be auctioned off with the proceeds going to flood relief in the state of South Carolina. Gus Malzahn said that Steve Spurrier has had a tremendous influence on me. He's one of the greatest. He said the influence goes back to his high school days as a head coach when he started wearing that visor. So not wearing one tonight, and he did admit to me before the game, guys, it feels very odd.
Great job, Allison, and I don't think it's affecting his vision because he's calling a great game so far.
Yeah, if they keep scoring points like this, he may not put that visor back on. Who knows? Some pressure, so Towles is going to run. With a lot of open field in front of him, he goes into a slide after getting the first down. They're going to spot him back at the 38-yard line. A run of about 12.
Well, we said in the past we've seen an inconsistent Towles. We've seen a consistent Towles tonight. He's playing really well, and we know that he's dual threat. He can run it. Protection ran by him. Nobody was open. That wasn't a quarterback draw. It's just his ability to run up inside for a first down.
He's 6'5", 240 pounds, but he can move. Comes from a very athletic family. His grandfather's a baseball Hall of Famer, Jim Bunning, big name in this state. That slant pass, nice delivery, and some more Kentucky speed into Auburn territory. Dorian Baker, tough to bring down to the 42-yard line. 20 more yards through the air from Towles to Baker. And quickly, with some tempo to the line of scrimmage, they will hand the ball off. Boom Williams, that cut upfield, picking his way forward. And a nice positive gain for the Wildcats on first down to the 36-yard line. 6 more yards.
And the Kentucky offensive staff knows that Auburn doesn't have a lot of depth up front, so they wanted to have a quicker tempo tonight and quicker pace. And Shannon Dawson's doing a good job of mixing up his plays and trusting his quarterback.
Well, this drive started right around their own 7-yard line, and they are on the move. Final 30 seconds of what has been an action-packed first quarter from Lexington. Play fake. Towles over the middle into traffic, but he delivers the ball complete for a first down to the 24. That's Garrett Johnson.
Once again, good play action pass, really good protection, and he's going to Baker or Johnson. Those were his 2 go-to guys tonight. Really impressed with the start for Patrick Towles.
So that will be the final play of the first quarter. I think Mark Stoops, some things he was disappointed about, but he's happy with his offense right now. On the move with Auburn putting up 2 touchdowns. Kentucky trying to tie this game when we come back after 1 quarter of action in the SEC. Auburn with the 14-7 lead. Towles flips it. That jet sweep kind of action. It's Garrett Johnson who got a yard, maybe 2 on the first down play. First play of the second quarter. Auburn leading 14-7, but Kentucky's been on the move again.
Yes, and they talked to us about Garrett Juice Johnson being a lot like the Randall Cobb guy that they had here. They love him in space.
That is high praise for one of the all-time great Kentucky football players, who's now a star in the NFL. Auburn showing some pressure with Towles in the shotgun. Quick release. He found the open spot on the defense. And there's the guy you're talking about. That looked a little bit like Randall Cobb. Garrett Johnson just squirting through inside the 10 down to around the 8 for 15 yards.
You look at the safety blitz. He comes down, he comes inside, and they picked him up well. And all of a sudden, good job by Patrick Towles again, sitting in there and finding the open receiver that was hot.
So it's 1st and goal, Kentucky. They've got Williams, the tailback. They fake it to him. Towles, it is intercepted. Carlton Davis, what a play on the ball. Towles was trying to get it to Dorian Baker, and Carlton Davis took it away.
True freshman Carlton Davis. What an outstanding play. Now there was pressure on Patrick Towles again because he gets pressure from the outside. He throws it behind him. But what a play by the true freshman. Carlton Davis, they told us, will be a great player at Auburn, not a good one. And this was a tremendous play to save points.
His 2nd career interception, and that came at a big time. Kentucky going in to tie the game perhaps. Instead, Auburn takes over at their own 20, 1st and 10 with the score still 14-7.
Big, good-looking young man.
First turnover of the game. 7th interception that Towles has thrown this year. That's a big number. Here's Barber straight ahead for a gain of 3. He was down.
We were just saying in the first quarter, both teams offensively got off to a good start, and neither one had a turnover. So we look around here and we start the second quarter with a turnover, first or second play.
There's never a good time, but Kentucky, it just felt like they were going to go in and score. That's a short gain over the left side from Barber once again to set up a 3rd down. Auburn in this game, another part of the story of the first quarter, they were 6 of 7 on 3rd downs.
Well, and Auburn's got those big old offensive linemen. They're really athletic up front, and they want to pound the Kentucky defensive front, and especially with all the slant and angle and the movement and the blitz.
Davis in motion. Sean White on the move. Nice delivery. It'll be a 1st down and more for the freshman Kerryon Johnson. Stayed in bounds, got out all the way to the 41-yard line.
Once again, outstanding design of the play. Motion across. They fake the speed sweep and come out on the nude to this side and hit the freshman Johnson, and he turns up for a big gain.
Already 5 catches, 114 yards for him. Barber breaking a tackle. Could have been no gain. He instead got 3.5.
Once again, Corey Johnson makes the play, but you can see Auburn's trying to line up and be very, very physical at the point of attack. And a couple of those plays where there's penetration by Kentucky that might have been a 1-yard loss all of a sudden become a 2-yard, 3-yard gain.
Well, you see the personnel change. Sean White gets a water break while Kerryon Johnson is that Wildcat quarterback. He will bring the man in motion. And Kerryon Johnson keeps it with that speed into the secondary. Tough to bring down. Johnson to the 32-yard line.
Very similar play as before. He fakes the reverse and comes off with the lineman pulling out to the right, and Kerryon Johnson, young freshman, is really doing a good job with the Wildcat formation with a power sweep to the right.
And it is interesting, Coach, both times they've run it, we've seen Jeremy Johnson, the second quarterback, the starter at the beginning of the year, come in for those formations. Who knows, maybe setting something up for later after the 1st down run for a gain of a couple.
Gus Malzahn told us they want to be quick with their tempo tonight, and they're going really quickly. Sometimes they're just snapping it right after the people get up.
And you saw the interception number for John. Really, that was the main issue for him. He wasn't making big plays that they expected, but he really was careless with the ball. That ultimately forced the decision. Kerryon Johnson tripped up by Josh Forrest, who's been the best player on the defense for Kentucky in this first half.
Josh Forrest, 3rd leading tackler in the SEC. Really good football player.
34 plays for Auburn. 23 of them tonight have come in Kentucky territory. They have been on the move, and they have put pressure on this Kentucky defense. Kentucky trying to get the right personnel out there. And the officials do allow Kentucky to get in position. Shotgun snap, pressure coming. White throws toward the end zone, incomplete. Maybe he was just throwing the ball away. Now, Auburn has a reliable field goal kicker, Daniel Carlson. 4th and 7, they're going to try a field goal.
3rd down and 11. Kentucky decided to come after him. Auburn had the right call. They had sprint out, but still it was a good job by a well-coached Kentucky defense to pull White up, and the coverage was excellent. Good stop by Kentucky.
34-yard try for Daniel Carlson. It certainly has the leg. He's made 2 of 50 and longer. He's actually struggled on the shorter kicks. That one, a line drive right up and through. So Auburn adds points after getting the interception. They lead 17-7. Yeah, it's almost that time of year here in the Bluegrass State. 17-7 Auburn leading Kentucky. Excitement about the football program. Always excitement about hoops. And look who's on the sideline with Allison Williams.
Yes, guys, joined by John Calipari and Coach Cal. You're getting ready for Big Blue Madness tomorrow night. You know fans will be out in full force for that. But how about the scene that Coach Stoops has started here at Kentucky for the football program?
Well, this is great. I'll tell you, Mark's doing a fabulous job. This is like a new stadium, too. And our fans have really bought in.
Fans have bought in for the football program, and they always do for the basketball program. A tremendous season last year, 38-1, but you lose your top 7 scorers. So give us a little preview of what is in store for Kentucky basketball this year.
Well, we don't know yet. We're still trying to figure things out, but you know, our returners with Tyler and Alex and Marcus and Dom and Derek, and then we've got some newcomers who I think are going to be pretty good. But we don't fight yet. We're playing, we're not fighting. You know, I watched tape of last year to try to remind my team of some things, and then I get like, we were really good last year. I hate to watch too much of it.
Yeah, really good last year, but this year you share that #1 ranking in the preseason polls.
Which is crazy.
Why is it crazy?
Well, we got the most inexperienced team in the country, and we got like the toughest schedule. So we're going to be dinged along the way, and you know, it's going to be a process. We will be much better later in the year than we will look early.
All right, Coach Cal, look forward to it. Thanks so much for the time.
Thank you.
3rd and long. Towles deep middle. Caught! 1st down and more across midfield. Garrett Johnson. So they don't pick the pass off the previous play, and then the big gain. Kentucky on the move. That's 39 yards.
Yes, really good protection. Patrick Towles steps up, throws it over Countess's head to Juice Johnson for a big play. Change in field position.
At the 48 of Auburn, they will hand the ball off. And the carry for JoJo Kemp, the junior from Florida. We haven't seen much of him in this first half. He got 4 yards on the carry.
Boy, momentum can change a game so much. You're backed up. You probably get points if you stop them on the 3rd down and 18, make them punt, and suddenly you look up, and it's 2nd down and 6 from their 45.
Another good one tonight, UCLA Stanford. After us, 10:30 Eastern from Palo Alto. 2 top 20 teams of the Pac-12. 2 SEC teams here tonight in Lexington. And the handoff. No missed tackle this time from Casanova McKenzie, who had a chance to make a big play early in the game. Didn't do it. This time he hung on.
Yeah, they've challenged the Auburn defensive front to make some one-on-one plays. Casanova McKenzie goes up inside the tackle and still makes the play for a big loss. So now it puts them in 3rd down and 8. Which Kentucky does not want to be in against this Auburn front.
And sometimes you do wonder, it was Stanley Williams who broke the tackle in the first quarter. This was JoJo Kemp. Little difference in terms of the explosion for the Kentucky offense. Third down. Towles down the sideline. Caught again. Another tremendous play by Johnson.
Auburn's bringing 5 up front. You've got 2 really good players in Ford and Johnson outside. And what a catch by Johnson. Randall Cobb comes back.
That's the guy they compare him to, and he's looking Cobb-like. 5 catches, 103 yards. That one was basically one-handed. So he's had the 2 big plays on this drive. First and goal, Kentucky.
Yeah, that's great coverage. You just say good catch.
No kidding. Coverage could hardly be better. Towles slant. And it's complete to Blake Bone, the sophomore, right around the 5-yard line. Remember, Kentucky was down here in this part of the field last time they had the ball. They were first and goal, and Towles threw an interception in the end zone. Trailing 17-7. Under 6 to go first half. Boom Williams behind Towles, almost a pistol formation there. They're going to throw a fade type route, incomplete. Baker wants a flag, no flag. Carlton Davis, who had that interception with the coverage, and he's the guy as a freshman you think is going to be a star.
I think he's going to be a star. He's big, he's strong, he's long armed. They're pushing and shoving a little bit there. That's probably not one you're going to call. Baker's the big go-to guy in the end zone. But last time down here with the interception is the only time Kentucky hadn't scored in the red zone.
Now Mark Stoops has his headset off. He's halfway out onto the field, at least was, complaining about that no call. It's 3rd and goal. Towles pressured, goes down. Jonathan Ford with the blitz from the secondary, and he sacks Towles and likely forces a field goal try.
Really good call by Will Muschamp. He brings Ford up inside. He's a really big, strong guy. Blitz, force the field goal.
That's 2 good stops by the Auburn defense inside the red zone. The interception last possession. And now to force the field goal try of 29 yards. Austin McGinnis, who has not been healthy. He's had a groin muscle problem. Did not kick last week. Kick is up, and it is good. So they get points, not a touchdown, but they get 3. Will Muschamp's defense comes up with a couple big plays. It's a 17-10 Auburn lead. After the field goal for Kentucky, Wildcats will kick it off. And against this explosive kick return team, it's going to be Kerryon Johnson. Another short kick with room to run across the 30. Auburn will start at their own 31-yard line. Sean White's playing well in the first half. His 3rd straight start and a nice delivery out to Marcus Davis, who shows off some speed across the 40, out near the 45, with plenty of time here left in the first half. Auburn 17-10 lead and on the move.
Really good perimeter blocking on the screen.
Tigers have not had a 3-and-out. They've had a first down on every drive, at least one, and often many more. That's a completion inside Kentucky territory with a very generous spot of forward progress. Tony Stevens with the catch, the junior from Orlando, Florida.
And anytime on first down you can get 8 yards with a quick pass, it's just like a run.
Second down and short. Barber, but it was White who kept it. Kentucky went to go tackle Peyton Barber, and Sean White inside the 35 down to the 34. So you talked about he's not perhaps the size athlete that Jeremy Johnson is, but he's got some wiggle.
Yes, got zone read. He looked at the defensive end. He read him. Good block outside on the corner, and he turns up for another first down.
And they got that Wildcat again. It'll be Kerryon Johnson, patient, picking his way forward, gets hit hard and dropped by Josh Forrest. Wildcats been effective for Auburn in the first half.
Wildcats been very effective, and Gus Malzahn told us they would use it anywhere in the field. So it's been much more productive right now in the red zone.
They'll send Sean White, the regular quarterback, who's having a nice first half, back on the field. Plenty of time on the play clock, but that game clock is rolling. I don't think Auburn's that worried about that. In fact, they may well like that more time is winding down. Barber gets stuffed. Maybe pushed his way forward for a yard, but that's it.
No,
If you're Kentucky, you got all 3 timeouts. Do you consider using one?
Well, you do, but you also want to wait and see how it goes here, and you'd probably wait till 3rd down. If you're Auburn, you'd like to score slowly and try to kill as much of this 2:10 that is left.
That's big Melvin Lewis, the senior, junior college transfer, who was on the ground and in some pain. He took his helmet off right away. Oh, Melvin Lewis there, kind of in the middle on the right side of the screen. And I think it was an ankle. So a timeout here in Lexington. Final 2:10 of the first half still to come. Auburn leads 17-10. We'll be right back. Williams back here in Lexington.
Red zone twice and only come up with 3 points, and they've been a team that's been 100% in the red zone. So give the Auburn defense credit when they're inside the red zone, because Kentucky's moved the ball well.
Yeah, you mentioned that. That's really been a theme on both sides. Auburn had not done a great job on offense in the red zone, and they've done a better job here tonight. Another Wildcat play. This time they give it to that fly sweep player coming around the right side with nowhere to go. Rock Thomas was tackled behind the line of scrimmage. So 4th down, and presumably the field goal unit will come out. The clock is rolling, and Kentucky finally calls a timeout. So the Wildcats will stop the clock. Now, it could be that Kentucky will still have plenty of time, 1:46 on the clock. That's their first timeout, though. I'm surprised they didn't use one earlier and call one a little quicker there. They wasted some time, hoping to get the ball back with time to go down and score themselves. Daniel Carlson from about 29 yards. Field goal is up and good. So Carlson's 2 for 2. Auburn's offense gets more points. It's a 10-point Auburn advantage, 20-10 with 1:43 to go until halftime.
That was a good stop by Kentucky, but also Auburn needed points before the half. So now we'll go back and see, will Shannon Dawson trust Patrick Towles with 1:43 left and 2 timeouts, because that's plenty of time to take it the length of the field.
And I would be shocked if they're not aggressive and try to go down the field and score. We're going to find out. A kick return would help. And it's a low line drive kind of kick, not nearly as good as most of them we've seen in this game. Across the 20, but good coverage by Auburn. It's 1st and 10, Kentucky from the 22. Boom Williams will leave the backfield out as a wideout. Towles gets rid of it quickly. Kind of a floater out there, caught for a short gain by Jeff Badette. And Kentucky's got to hurry back to the line of scrimmage. The clock continues to move. 5-yard gain. We still have 2 timeouts.
You'd like to get it around the 50 before you start really opening it up.
2nd and 5. Towles with some pressure coming, scrambling. Towles is going to throw it away.
Really good job by Auburn covering the screen. So he's got a quick out. He's got the screen. He's trying to break something about 20-25 yards, get it down to the 50, and then you've got a chance to be aggressive going in. But you don't want to give a turnover here to Auburn with one of the better kickers in the country and give them more points.
Yeah, you want to protect the ball. That is a good point. The kicking game is lopsided in this one, at least the field goal kicking in terms of the range. And Kentucky not real confident in long distance field goals. 3 of 5 on 3rd downs. Each team's only punted 1 time. So we've had a lot of offense. It's been a fun first half. Towles with some pressure again. Towles can't get away. Devontae Lambert with the sack. Auburn does have 2 timeouts.
This was a really good call by the defensive coordinator at Auburn. You start coming up inside with a total blitz and a twist inside. A lot of pressure on Towles for the sack. Now Auburn's got to decide, do we block? Do we return? We've still got a chance to maybe get some points here with a 4th and 13.
Well, we'll let everybody else think about it for a minute. Landon Foster, the punter. Not a real booming kick. And a return coming for Auburn without much room. Good coverage for Marcus Davis. And Rock Thomas, one of their weapons on offense, on that punt play, being helped to the sideline. So that's not good for the Tigers. But a good point. They don't have to move the ball that far to have a chance to kick, although fairly conservative on first down at carry for a gain of 3 or so. Now, the way Auburn's moved the ball, I'm a little surprised at that one.
Well, they're going no huddle.
23 seconds until halftime and no timeouts now for the Tigers. Sean White in the pocket, throws middle short. Barber makes a man miss, and that might be the difference. Still going. Now can Auburn, with the clock stopped on the first down briefly, get to the line of scrimmage,
Clock the ball,
and spike the ball? They got plenty of time to do it, and that's what Sean White will do with 11 seconds on the clock. Now, here's where Gus Malzahn could say, well, are we content just to try the field goal? Would we risk one more play from scrimmage?
You work on this all the time, and you usually feel like if you've got 8 seconds left, you've got enough time to kick. So, I mean, for one more play. So with 11 seconds, they'll definitely take a play. They'll probably try to throw something outside, complete the ball to get a little bit closer for field goal range, and have them step out of bounds.
A kick from here would be right around 51 yards or so, depending on the exact spot. We saw some real clock mismanagement on a spike kind of play last week, Wake Forest Boston College. So Auburn does have to be careful about that. White looking to throw, stepping up, and he's going to heave it toward the end zone. He's got a man wide open. Incomplete. Tony Stevens is saying he caught it for a touchdown, and we may have to take a look at this. There was nobody around him. Nobody. And Gus Malzahn cannot believe it. Let's see what we see. Catch. Did he get that foot down? I think he controlled the ball through the catch. I don't think there's any question about that. Man, it was a tremendous effort, Coach, by Tony Stevens. He was wide open all alone in the end zone. From that angle, maybe the elbow came down out of bounds before the foot. After a close call for Auburn, Carlson with the big leg. Kick on the way, and it is good with a lot to spare. And Gus Malzahn and his Auburn Tigers, with a lot of pep going to the locker room, they played well on the road. With a 23-10 lead. Quick break, and then we'll turn it over at Nanverk. Danny Cannell, Joey Galloway have the Land Rover College Football Halftime Report.
Coach, I'm sure it's difficult to see Sean White miss Stevens in the end zone there, but how would you assess his half as a whole?
I thought he's done a good job. You know, we made some plays in the passing game. We had some explosive plays. I'd like to get a touchdown down there on the field goal. But that was big right before half right there, getting points close down there. But I like where we're at. Playing a good team. We just gotta get adjustments at halftime.
What are the biggest adjustments you look to make at the half?
Well, I think on third down, our third down defense, we got to get off the field on the 3rd and long. Offensively, we got to continue to run the football when they come up over the top of them.
Coach Malzahn, thank you.
Thank you.
The Auburn Tigers on the road playing well, leading Kentucky 23-10. Hi, everybody. Dave Fleming along with Coach Mack Brown back with you as we get ready to start the second half. Kentucky did a lot of things well, Mack, I thought, but Auburn's offense was powerful.
Auburn can run the ball. They had over 100 yards rushing with 29 carries. They had it 48 times to Kentucky's 31. So we'll see if that happens to beat Kentucky down in the 4th quarter.
Auburn, 297 yards of offense in that first half, 23 points on the board. It has not been an efficient Auburn offense this year until tonight, so a very encouraging sign for Gus Malzahn and company. The kicking game has been impressive. That'll be another touchback as Kentucky's offense comes out on the field. They get the ball first here, and I think the point that we made just briefly there, Patrick Towles and the Wildcats offense, they were pretty good. A mistake in the red zone, an interception was a costly play. Otherwise, a lot of good things from Kentucky.
If you take the 10-point swing there with the interception in the end zone, and then the fact that Auburn did such a good job using the clock at the end of the half, kicking the field goal with 1:43 left, and getting a field goal with 3 seconds left to get 6 extra points.
There's a slant complete for another first down for the Wildcats. Juice Johnson, Garrett Johnson, is having a big-time game.
Yeah, Juice Johnson's a really good football player, and he hurt Will Muschamp at Florida last year. So I'm sure we'll see some of these guys any sleep after the game they had against them last year and as well as tonight.
Yeah, he had 6 catches, 154 yards against Coach Muschamp and the Gators last season. And he could be headed toward another career high game here. Boom on the outside, tripped up, knocked out of bounds, but a positive gain on first down across midfield into Auburn territory.
Really good play by Jonathan Jones, coming up from the secondary and making it a short game.
Well, that second quarter, the little blip there on the ground as the Wildcats, I mean, that ground game, it was one big play, but Boom Williams was effective when he was touching the ball early in this game. I think they could stand to get him some more touches. Towles down the middle, another catch for Johnson. And they say incomplete, hit the ground. Towles doesn't know it yet. Well, Towles was running up like it was a completion. I don't know. I mean, there was definitely a bobble, but I'm not sure that one touched the turf. It was close. Kentucky fans seeing it up on the big video board. Those hands were under the ball. It's not an easy call, but I do think in the end they got the call right. Towles on first down, little misdirection pass over the middle with a good block. Out of the open inside the 20. Tackled at about the 19-yard line, Dorian Baker.
Another screen to Baker. They've really done a good job of getting the ball to Johnson and Baker, 2 of their playmakers. And Baker's such a big, strong guy. He can break some tackles after the catch.
13 yards, first down from the 19. Kentucky with 12 first downs in this game. On the move again. They're over 300 yards of offense tonight. Little hesitation move by Williams, and that speed from Boom Williams. He dove forward. He got that first down.
Yeah, what a great play. He showed his power there, his patience, his vision, but also that 10-4 speed when he turns the corner and outruns Jonathan Jones, who came up and had a poor angle because Jonathan didn't feel like he was going to get back there that fast.
So it's first and goal for the Wildcats, a part of the field where they've been so good this year, but not as good tonight. Williams behind Towles. Delayed handoff. Williams picking his way through. Williams down to about the 2. Now the ball comes out. He stretched forward. And one official says touchdown. That was a tremendous effort by Boom Williams.
The showed pass, delayed draw up inside, really good blocking by the guys. He's laying on players. He reaches the ball over the end zone for the touchdown, end zone line for the touchdown. What a drive. Give Mark Stoops and his staff credit. They stirred him up. They got him excited. And what a drive to start the second half.
Extra point up and good from Austin McGinnis. Kentucky's not going away in this game. They got 331 yards of offense in this game. A lot of it because of the solid play of their quarterback, Patrick Towles. Auburn leads by 6. They are into this game here tonight, Coach Mack Brown, and for good reason. Kentucky, both teams playing really well on offense, but the Wildcats have been tested, and they are hanging tough with Auburn.
Yeah, horrible finish to the half, giving up 2 field goals with 1:43 left. A lot of great adjustments at halftime, and Mark Stoops obviously got them stirred up.
Well, another fairly short kick. Jonathan Ford, with that burst of speed, tumbles forward to about the 28-yard line. Auburn with the ball. Kerryon Johnson breaks a tackle, gets stood up, though, and knocked to the ground hard. And he is not getting up real quick. Johnson took a lick. It'll be second and long. Khalid Henderson led the defense for Kentucky.
Yeah, Kentucky wanted penetration. And you look at Forrest, Josh Forrest, the middle linebacker. He missed the tackle, but he slowed Johnson down enough to let the other Kentucky tacklers come in there.
Yeah, good call by you, because Forrest really is the guy who made that play. Doesn't get credit for the play. He's been their best player on defense tonight.
He's the best player.
Second and 11. Sean White faked it. Got away from that would-be tackler and got some positive yards. So that was a nice move by Sean White, who's not known for that part of his game as a redshirt freshman.
Once again, zone read. He makes a poor read this time, and he doesn't hand the ball off, and Jason Hatcher misses the tackle. Jason Hatcher was a big-time recruit that was thinking about going to USC, and Kentucky kept him here. That time, White makes a play that makes it, again, a manageable third down.
Well, Kentucky swaps out some personnel for 3rd and 5 as Auburn breaks the huddle and gets to the line quickly. Couple of fakes. White, pressure, goes down. So he missed the tackle a play before. He was not going to miss that one. That's Jason Hatcher.
He said not again. It was a double fake. They faked the dive. They faked the reverse. They were trying to go for the deep ball on a 3rd down where they thought they might get Kentucky in man coverage and get the big one. But Hatcher makes the sack, and momentum has completely turned in this ball game.
Well, the Kentucky defense didn't do a lot of stopping of Auburn in the first half. They've stopped them twice now in the second half, and that is their first sack of the night. Kevin Phillips, the punter, a high short punt. It'll bounce and bounce sideways where Auburn will down it at around the 45-yard line. Kentucky is going to have very good field position, and a lot of it because of that guy. A great field position for Kentucky. Little pitch play straight ahead. There's Boom into Auburn territory down to the 49-yard line. 5-yard run on first. Right in the part of the field where Kentucky had the ball just a couple minutes ago. They punted on 4th and medium and netted only 22 yards. Their defense did a good job of getting them the ball back with similar field position. Here's Williams again.
And Mark Stoops made a good decision not to fake it because his defense is rested. They're playing better, and now he's running the ball better as well. So the message about being more physical on both lines of scrimmage came true to his football team. And Kentucky knows this is a chance for them to take a huge step in their football program here with only 5:10 left in the 3rd quarter.
JoJo Kemp behind him. Pressured. Rolling out, and he's going to run. Towles will get the first down and go out of bounds.
This was pressure at the top by big number 1, Mortavius Adams, but he gets inside and he loses containment, and he lets Patrick Towles get outside, and then he runs because it's man coverage and no one's outside to keep him from making the first down. Critical mistake by Auburn's defensive end.
Yeah, Montravius Adams, I mean, he's got a lot of talent, a lot of potential. They're looking for more production from him. Short throw complete to the tight end. C.J. Conrad, you can see why they like him. He's a true freshman. That's only his 4th catch of his very young college career. They think he's got a chance to be a star.
Yeah, 6'5" guy that came in January, early enrollee, but Patrick Towles is on fire. Right now he feels good about himself. It helps the play caller. It helps him. The entire team feeds off Patrick.
Down 6, but getting deeper into Auburn territory. Kemp still the back. Towles, that quick release again. He'll get another catch for Garrett Johnson. Juice dragged down, but he got to about the 15-yard line. Forward progress gives him maybe 6 yards or so. That's his 8th catch of the game. He's up to 136 yards receiving.
Yeah, it's an unbelievable night for him. Really good tackle by Jonathan Ford, number 23, leading tackle for Auburn. I'm impressed with these Auburn secondary guys. They can really tackle.
Baker comes in motion. Pressure, screen play set up. There's that tight end. And a cut inside down to about the 15-yard line for C.J. Conrad.
Once again, like Patrick Towles feeling the pressure on the screen, he leans out to the right and dumps it off to his freshman tight end, Conrad. I like what I see in the body language and the confidence right now of Patrick Towles. He just seems to get better and better.
They don't have great confidence in their field goal game, but they're well within field goal range. Final minute plus of the 3rd quarter. 3rd and 3. Towles over the top. It is dropped. Man, Dorian Baker had his hands on it in the end zone. That would have been a touchdown, and he does not hang on.
Now Dorian wants that one back. It was the perfect back shoulder throw. He was covered so well by the freshman. The ball was underthrown. Dorian had it in his hands. You got to make that catch because he's one of the best players on Kentucky's football team.
You pointed it out. It wasn't bad coverage considering by Carlton Davis, but he's got to make that play.
Now, Carlton Davis, a big-time player, but to win games like this, you got to make those plays.
Austin McGinnis, 31 yards from that right hash. These are important with 1:07 to go in the third quarter. Good snap, good hold, good kick. Now Kentucky moves the ball. They get 3 out of it and cut the lead to 3. Auburn getting it back when we come back. Dave Fleming, Mac Brown, Allison Williams back here in Lexington. Campus has been buzzing all week long about this game. One of the dining halls, beautiful one on campus. 23-20 Auburn with the lead. And the fan support from all across the state, not just the students here on campus, from everywhere, has been tremendous as Kentucky wants a third SEC win. They're 2-1. Auburn, meanwhile, 0-2 in SEC play and desperate for a win, leading by 3. They'll get the ball back. Kerryon Johnson with the return with speed. He gets to the outside, and he'll be pushed out of bounds at about the 36-yard line. Their kick return game this year, Coach, has been really explosive. Remember, in the first half, it was lopsided in favor of Auburn, 48-31. Here in the third quarter, 26 plays for Kentucky, only 7 from scrimmage in the quarter for Auburn. Sean White hands the ball off. Barber, nowhere to go. Man, swarming Kentucky defense. Peyton Barber tackled right around the line of scrimmage.
Well, and Kentucky's defense is fresh. They're confident. They are rested enough now that they are all chasing the ball. So Auburn's got to come up with some way to make some first downs here, rest their defense, and try to get some momentum changed.
I wonder if they can get the ball to Ricardo Lewis, who had the huge first quarter and just has not been a factor at all since. Part of that with being poked in the eye, but Ricardo Lewis does not have a catch since the first quarter. Plenty of time on the play clock. Smith in motion. Sean White, just a 3-man rush, delivers. It's knocked down. J.D. Harmon with a good play on the ball. They were trying to get it to Lewis, and it was almost like Kentucky knew that was coming.
Well, and if J.D. gets a hold of this one, that scoreboard lights up again. Great break on the ball. The ball was thrown pretty well outside.
Sean White would like to have that one back. So would Coach Gus Malzahn. Man, Kentucky played well in that third quarter, and they have made a game of it. At the end of 3 here at Commonwealth Stadium in the SEC, Auburn 23, Kentucky 20. What a time of year to be here in the Commonwealth, and what a quarter for Kentucky, down 23-10 at half, 10-0 the advantage in the third quarter. Game 3rd and 2 for Sean White in the offense. Handoff Barber, and he churns those legs, and I think he got there.
Boy, what a great run.
That was.
That's why they like Barber. Peyton Barber, tough, smart, physical, been around a long time. He's the steady guy, 225 pounds going forward.
Not the explosive big play guy that we've seen for so many years as the lead tailback at Auburn. Different kind of player, but on a play like this, that's the skill set you want.
Yeah, it's a blitz. Josh Forrest is in the backfield, and he just fights through tackles for a first down.
That's a big one for Auburn. White delivers. Defense right there for the tackle. Lewis with the catch. So he finally has a catch after the first quarter. It goes for 6 yards.
Auburn was picking on Chris Westry, number 21, the freshman, early in the game, and he's really settled down and playing so well now that he's grown up fast. Needs
to get a little stronger. But we stood next to him. He's a legit 6'4", true freshman from the state of Florida.
Big, good-looking young man.
2nd and 12. Under 10 minutes to go. That is some real misdirection. White steps up. He's got Lewis open and caught inside the 15. Ricardo Lewis hangs on for the big play down the field.
This play was made by Sean White. You see 47 coming at the bottom of the screen. Jabari Johnson, and White steps up inside and still has the composure to regather himself and hit Ricardo Lewis down for the big play. Now Auburn's got a lot of momentum going.
And that's his first real big play since the first quarter. He's got 154 yards on the night. That one was 34. Handoff, Barber back in the game. Barber with that power inside the 10, stopped at around the 7.
We've got to go back and remember Melvin Lewis is on the sideline. So now Auburn will go back and try to pound. But red zones where they'd had their problems on offense until tonight, this is a key red zone series. They don't need to come away with 3. They need to get this a 2-score game.
They have giant number 69, Matt Elam, Kentucky native, who was a big-time recruit in the game. You see 69 in the middle of the defensive line. He has not yet quite lived up to expectation. They thought he was going to be a difference maker in the middle.
It's time to live up to it right now.
They need him. 2nd and 5. Under center, White hands it off to Barber again. Barber right at Elam and company. Auburn can get a first down. He stopped short, but it's not an end goal situation. It'll be 3rd and about a yard.
So impressed with Barber running north and south. Gus wants him to go. He wants him to go, 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 go. You got Kentucky standing around a little bit. Get it snapped.
White on 3rd and 1 will get it snapped. Will hand it to Barber, who is across the goal line. Touchdown. Touchdown Auburn. 2nd of the night for Peyton Barber. And the call on replay was huge. The catch by Lewis was huge. Auburn needed that in a big way.
Good job by the offensive line of Auburn, but Barber was the biggest part of that offensive drive. Peyton Barber made people miss him time and time again. Then you have an opportunity when you reestablish the run to get the play action and throw it deep to Ricardo Lewis.
Extra point is up and good. So Barber got the dirty work done, but it was the big play to number 5 coach that set up the touchdown.
Yeah, so all of a sudden, double fake, faked it up inside, faked the reverse. Great throw to Ricardo Lewis. So Auburn needed to produce some explosives tonight, and they've done just that.
Yeah, just over 2 a game coming in. They've had 4 of them. They still want more. Last year, they were around 10 a game of those explosive type plays, so they still have some work to do. But it's been a little bit better. Touchback. Kentucky gets the ball back before they start their drive. Time is not their friend now. Under 7 minutes to go. They have all 3 of their timeouts. But they do have to play offense with some urgency. Towles in the pocket with Forever. He'll throw down the field, and great communication. And the ball is dropped by Boom Williams. He released and watched his quarterback and found that opening in the defense. The ball was right on the money and dropped.
Yeah, you got to have playmakers step up and make plays. It's a 3-man rush. Patrick Towles does a good job of buying time. Everybody's covered. He finds Boo Williams wide open for the big play. You're going to be down around the 30-yard line. Look the ball in, boom, before you take it, turn up, and try to make some extra yards.
I tell you what, drops have been a part of this game for Kentucky. Dorian Baker, one of their best players, dropped a ball in the end zone that would have been a touchdown. Little play fake here. More pressure coming. This throw all the way across the field, and a really nice job by Blake Bone to stay in bounds, catch the ball, fall out of bounds for a Kentucky first down.
All-out blitz by Auburn. Patrick Towles once again stands in the pocket. Perfect throw across the field. Young man keeps his feet in bounds. Great play by Boone as well.
Yeah, good call, too. He was in. Now Towles, a busted play. He's going to take it himself and just sort of stumble forward. Well, the running back went in the wrong direction, or the quarterback got turned around, whosever mistake it was. It's a gain of a yard.
And what you do when the play's busted, turn upfield and try to get as much as you can. Don't lose too much. Good job by Patrick Towles. He ignored it. He went on, regardless of whose fault it was. Next play.
Sometimes you wonder, Boom Williams had the drop. Was he still thinking about it and just went the wrong way? Under 6 minutes to go. 2nd and 9. Kentucky down 10 with the ball. Handoff straight ahead running, and that's that power back, Michael Horton, for a nice gain inside the 45 down to the 44. Towles with the clock running now. In the pocket, delivers deep, and another play with a lot of contact. That's going to be another penalty against Blake Countess. Second one on this drive. Again, they're trying to get the ball to Garrett Johnson, who's been their big play guy.
Pass interference, defense, number 28, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
28 was there, but I thought Countess was the guy that had most of the contact.
One of the hardest things to defend for a defensive back in man coverage is the underthrown ball, and you lose sight of where the ball is. It's way inside, but he didn't know it was inside, so people wonder why he would be so foolish to push the guy. It's really, really hard to be a man cover guy against a great player like Juice Johnson when you know the game's on the line.
Well, that was definitely, even though they announced it on 28, that was definitely a penalty against Blake Countess. A first down, second pass interference play. Towles throws left sideline, and this one is caught. Another one of those back shoulder type throws, this time to Jeff Badette inside the 5. It'll be first and goal, Kentucky.
Yeah, what a throw. Jonathan Jones has really good coverage, man-to-man down the field. He turns back to see the ball. The ball's thrown outside. Great play by Badette.
Well, the clock will wind after they spot the ball. It'll be first and goal from about the 2. That one was 27 yards through the air. Horton is the tailback alongside Towles. They're going to give it to Michael Horton. Horton gets just crunched. Another big hit from Jonathan Ford. He's had a lot of them.
I like Jonathan Ford. He is a tough football player. Leads the team in tackles. Was a running back when he got to Auburn, but it was a good decision for that young man to move over.
And look, these seconds are precious. Kentucky's down 2 scores. They're down 10. And since they had that big pass play, 40 seconds have run off the clock, something like that, and they're still not in.
Still critical they have to score.
You're right. Can't make a mistake. Another hit behind the line. The effort from Horton. Now the ball was sort of bobbling there, but I think he got it over the plane, and the officials agree. Touchdown, Kentucky. Did he get in? Yeah, I think so. Don't you?
I do. Good job. He was hit in the backfield with penetration. Jamil President hit him. Big, strong, young sophomore. Keeps moving forward and reached the ball across the goal line for a touchdown.
Extra point up and good. Well, Kentucky goes 9 plays, 75 yards in 3:50, and they make it a 3-point game. 30-27 Auburn with the 3-point lead. 4:06 to go, fourth quarter. And the Wildcats looking for a signature win as they rebuild this program against a team that a couple years ago played for the national championship. Auburn lead is 3. Another short kickoff. Carry-on Johnson to the 15 and out to the 25 to about the 27-yard. Sean White has played well. Hand the ball off. Peyton Barber, Mr. Reliable, for a gain of 2.
Now you go into your 4-minute offense. You don't want to be too conservative, but you can see Coach Malzahn saying, okay, we're no huddle, but we're slowing this thing down. They want to snap it with 3 seconds left, but Kentucky has 3 timeouts, so they want to make sure that they get a first down.
It's not that often that you see the stop sign from Gus Malzahn. And now he's ready to call the play. 2nd and 8. Kentucky's got all 3 of their timeouts.
Kentucky trying to strip a ball loose, make a stop, get penetration.
Lewis in motion, and they'll give it to Ricardo Lewis. He gets to the edge and gets the first down. What a big first down for Auburn. Ricardo Lewis having a career night. 7 catches, 154 yards. This time he does it on the ground.
Speed sweep. Good job by Ricardo Lewis, slowing down to make sure that the exchange is good. Stay in bounds, though. Turn back inside. Even though it's a first down, the clock would keep running. That's just like a timeout. Well, they said it stayed in bounds.
So they put the ball down. The clock winds. 1st and 10 Auburn. And again, they broke the huddle a little too soon for Coach Malzahn's taste. Now, don't you think Kentucky now, they got to start using those timeouts after this play? I would think so. First down run for Barber, stopped across the 40, and they will use their first timeout, which means essentially that Auburn is 7 or so yards away from winning this game. Kentucky will try to stop them when we come back. 30-27, Auburn leads. 2nd and 6 out of the timeout. Sean White, handoff. Barber straight ahead. Barber stops short at about the 44-yard line. And another timeout for Kentucky. 2:35 to go. And it'll be 3rd down for Auburn. Mark Stoops and company know that essentially the game for them comes down to this play. It might not officially end it if Auburn gets a first down. But the game's on the line right here. Coach Stoops trying to bark out some last-second instructions for his defense. 3rd and 4. And they give it on that sweep action. Johnson, the freshman, lowers his shoulders, and it's going to depend on the spot. I think he was stopped short. And they're going to put the ball down, and that he was short. That's 4th down. And Stoops will use that final timeout with 2:19 to go. It's 4th down.
Speed sweep to Johnson.
Timeout in the second half.
He turns it up inside. What a great tackle.
This will be a 30-second timeout.
Marcus McWilson may have saved the game in terms of giving Kentucky a chance. So it's 4th down and a yard. I mean, you wouldn't think that Auburn would be bold enough to go for it, but
you never know. They've had some snap issues in the red zone. They don't put their quarterback up under center much. And this would be a situation where you're probably going to quarterback sneak if you're going to go for it. So Gus Malzahn and Will having the discussion. Do we trust our defense enough? Do we punt it? Or do we go for it and get this game over with? I just saw him say we're going to punt it.
Now Kentucky is totally confused with personnel. Totally confused. They don't have the number or the correct players on the field. I mean, how many players do they have out there? Kentucky, not many. And they're still going to punt the ball away. My goodness, that was just chaos. Fair catch, and the ball goes out of bounds. They had maybe 8 players on the field for that punt.
Well, you start looking at, they were trying to decide, they thought that they would have a 4th down defense on the field. They have no timeouts. They did not think that Auburn was going to go for it. I mean, they did think Auburn was going to go for it. They weren't ready for the punt team. So then you just leave your defense out there and go and say
that
punt.
Could not have been handled worse. And it could have cost Kentucky. They had 8 players on the field for a punt.
Well, and you see the frustration on Coach Stoops' face. He was getting all over Coach Elliott, his defensive coordinator, DJ Elliott. But obviously it didn't work well for them. They still have a chance to go win this football game.
They got away with it. They
Forget
did.
it. Move forward.
Towles, little pass fake over the middle. And he's got his man for a big gain. And guess who? Juice Johnson has been making plays all night long.
Well, and Patrick Towles has been really, really good as a football player tonight. He pumped because Johnson wasn't open. He waited till he hit the crease and then threw a perfect ball.
23 yards, 160 in the game for Johnson. Another play fake. Again, the pressure picked up. That pass caught, but the tackle inbounds. Clock winds. Dorian Baker held on, but that clock will roll with 1:12 to go. No timeouts for Kentucky. A gain of 5.
Yeah, that's a tough one to have a short catch inbounds.
Well, they got to hurry. Under a minute to go. Got to snap the ball. Towles, handoff. And Boom Williams does not get the first down. But now Kentucky really has to go. Chris Frost made the tackle. I mean, they cannot waste time. They're down to 45 seconds. You can't clock the ball. It's 3rd down. Towles will get it snapped and play fake it. And he's going deep this time. Left sideline, jump ball. Incomplete. But Dad had his hands on it. Jonathan Jones with good coverage. He was in there too. It's 4th down.
Yeah, it's great coverage by Jonathan Jones. They jump up. I thought Bidet was going to make a great catch, and he comes down, and it comes free. 2 players competing to try to win this game at the end.
So now 4th and 3, and Kentucky's got to worry first and foremost about getting the first down. This is the game right here. Kentucky's been real good on 4th downs this season. They have to have this one. 4th and 3. 4-man rush for Auburn. Towles pressured though. Towles trying to run, and he won't get there. Auburn stops him. And the Tigers are going to win the game. Justin Garrett from his linebacker spot with a game-saving play. Auburn takes over on downs.
Auburn dropped off in zone. They had a 4-man rush. They rushed up inside and made a good play to pressure him outside, and then he tried to turn up and make the play and couldn't, and the clock's running. Gus Malzahn is a happy man.
Towles had a lot more room to maneuver and buy some time and try to throw the ball.
Well, and freshman Byron Cowart really made a tremendous play of coming up inside on the pass rush to flush him out of the pocket.
Well, what a win for Auburn. Disappointment for Kentucky with the big crowd here. But the Tigers survive on a much-needed first SEC win for Gus Malzahn.
Yes, it's a great win for Auburn, and you got to give Kentucky a lot of credit. They're a better football team. They've been in every game this year. Every game's come down to 8 points or less. They lost to Florida in a tight one. This is a tight one, very disappointing at home. But this Kentucky team is not ready to lay down and die.
Excellent performance by Sean White and Auburn. They beat Kentucky 30-27 for Allison Williams and Mac Brown, Dave Fleming. Now we're going to send you out to Stanford. UCLA and the Cardinals coming up next.